Belt Conference. The lineup exactly the same as it was for the conference clash a week ago at South Carolina. That means Braden Borutsky is starting at center back again, and Dante Huckabee, the Morgantown native, will start at right back, but we're told that center back Carlos Hernando and right back Toma Dikatene are available tonight for WVU. The keeper for West Virginia is the senior Jackson Lee. He also has 6 clean sheets, top 8 in the nation, and tied for the Sun Belt lead with Hirota. Dan Stratford is perhaps Chris Grassie's brightest pupil. They coached together at the University of Charleston. Stratford won a pair of national championships there in 17 and 19, and is now in his 4th season at WVU. Well, at long last, the moment is here. Some call soccer the world's game, but this is the Mountain States game. This is the night. Yes, Marshall has won a national championship, and the Mountaineer women have even played for one too. But in terms of soccer matches contested here in almost heaven, this simply is as big as it gets. And there's no greater theater, no greater drama than 2 unbeaten rivals going head-to-head. It's nearly time to lift the curtain on the 26th Mountain State Derby.
Well, to invoke the late Bill Stewart, we got you a good one, right? I mean, is it going to be, this is going to be so much fun. And we have a lot of storylines to get to tonight. We're going to talk about a ton of them. Obviously, Coach Stratford and Coach Grassie, their relationship. But tonight, as with all nights, it's about the players. It's about the players and which player can withstand this environment and thrive in it. This is going to be unlike a regular season matchup, I think, that either of these sides have played in. But it's about players and execution and all this other stuff that's on the periphery. It's fun for us to talk about. It's going to make for a great night. But it's about who's going to execute here in this moment.
Absolutely so, Adam. Historically, West Virginia has had the upper hand in the Mountain State Derby. 16 wins for WVU compared to 7 for Marshall, but the last 3 meetings evenly split, 1 win apiece with 1 draw in 2021. Our referee tonight is Lucas Feathers. He blows the whistle, and we're underway in this historic rivalry clash between number 1 Marshall and number 5 West Virginia. All gold for WVU on a gold rush night in Morgantown, attacking the goal to the left on your monitor. Marshall in the green striped jerseys with white shorts and socks, attacking the goal to the right. Early throw-in coming here for WVU. Formation the same as it was against South Carolina. That means Freddie Jorgensen and Dante Huckabee are the wing backs. The center backs are Max Broughton in possession and Braden Borutsky. The midfielders, as always, Otto Olakainen and Ryan Baer. Luke McCormick with the ball now, the attacking midfielder, and the attacking trident for WVU left to right is Utaro Sukata, Marcus Caldera, and Sergio Ors Navarro.
You see Utaro Sukata drawing a lot of attention here in the early going. 2 green and white jerseys flying at him on his first touch. And it was really interesting the other night when West Virginia was at home, the crowd clamoring for Utaro Sukata to get the ball and make something happen. And we got a great crowd here on hand tonight. See if that can be the proverbial 12th man. And a couple of bad touches here for Marshall in the early going.
Uncharacteristic of the herd. You mentioned Sukata. He was the Sun Belt Player of the Week last week. This week, that honor belongs to Pablo Simon, the junior from Spain. 2 goals and 2 assists, including a game-winning goal in that 6-1 win for Marshall over Coastal Carolina Friday. Good defending in the midfield by Taimu Okioshi, the captain for the Thundering Herd. He's paired with Tio Godar in the midfield.
So facing Marshall is obviously going to be a terrific challenge for West Virginia. We talked about their offensive depth. And with this reconfigured back line, it's going to be a monumental task for the Mountaineers.
Both teams entering this contest unbeaten on the year. Marshall, the only team left in the country with a perfect winning percentage. 12 wins, no losses, no draws. Both teams among the final 6 unbeaten sides in Division I men's soccer. Here's Marcus Caldera, the Sun Belt's leader in goals. Working off Otto Olakainen, heavy touch taken away by Marshall. That's Amen Sordo. and Matthew Bell dropping it back to the center back, Takahiro Fujita. It's Fujita and Morris Dugan, the two center backs. Fujita, a freshman from Japan. Dugan, a senior from Germany. Mountaineers putting effective pressure early on.
That's going to be something to watch here tonight. How and when West Virginia presses Marshall's defenders. There might not be more backs that touch the ball more than Marshall's defenders. Very comfortable, very patient back there. And they go slow to fast and back to front as fast as any team in the country. They are not afraid to back pass. They're not afraid to be patient. And then all of a sudden, if you get caught in a press, they will pop it over top of you and unleash that attack.
Quick note, it's Alexander Sterngard paired with Okiyoshi in the midfield. Godard playing as a fullback in the back four for Marshall, along with Hai Pinto on the near side. Free kick coming here for Marshall. By the way, our referee is Lucas Feathers. Assistants Ross Kleinstuber and Sam Reynolds. Alternate is Sam Cook.
Just getting tangled up there, but you want to be physical with Bell, who was taken down on that play.
And no doubt, Adam, both of these teams are very physical squads. That's really part of the brand in the Sun Belt, if you will. We've seen West Virginia here at Dick DeLeste play a ton of physical games this season.
Yeah, and both like to play, but, if you're going against that, as Marshall's trying to connect here, if you're going against that, you want to knock some players off. We've seen Marcus Caldera deliver and be hit as well, and Marshall can do the same thing with its attacking players.
Thundering Herd in the attacking third here. Cross deflected well by Dante Huckabee, the West Virginia native. Long ball to Caldera. Perota's way off his line, but he's in the right spot to blast it back into the attacking third for Marshall. Thundering Herd can hurt you at a moment's notice. This Marshall team, 38 goals scored compared to just 5 goals conceded. Number 1 in the country in goals scored. Number 1 in the country in goal differential at plus 33. I mean, Adam, look at these stats. This is the resume for the best team in the country.
When you say they're the undisputed number 1 team in the country, well, that's what you mean. You can't do better than lead the country in goals scored and goals against average.
Bit of a messy situation here for West Virginia. Marshall into the box, shot on goal, deflected across the line. Matthew Bell has scored, and Marshall takes an early 1-0 lead in the Mountain State Derby.
Right to form for Marshall, attacking the right side of West Virginia's defense. The ball gets across, and Matthew Bell is there to clean it up. That's what a goal scorer does. He starts this by chipping it over the top. A great job there by Iomesh, and Bell follows it up and gets to that back post and gives Marshall the early 1-0 lead.
Lee got a mitt to the cross, but Bell still put it away anyway. It all started because of a bad pass from the back line by West Virginia, and the Thundering Herd on the road out in front in this rivalry clash. Stoppage here as we've got Marshall players on the wrong side of the field as we await a restart here.
Well, like we say, after any goal, how are you going to respond for both sides? Will Marshall continue to press and have that energy? I imagine that will be the case. West Virginia now has to, I don't think you have to really change a whole lot, but your sense of urgency is turned up and you want to have a positive response. You have this crowd behind you and you want to use that as much as you can. But this is what Marshall does. They get on top of you and they make your life really, really difficult. And one mistake, they punish you for it.
Well, Marshall doing its best to silence what could be a record crowd here at Dick DeLeste Stadium with an early goal from Matthew Bell. Credit to Adam Iomesh with the assist. So for Bell, it's his 8th goal of the season, 18th of his career. On the other end, West Virginia, cross from Caldera, is poked away by Fujita. The assist for Iomesh is his 5th of the season. Adam Sordo on the ball. Mountaineers win it back. Here's Otto Olakainen in the midfield.
Well, Nick, I don't think any of us thought this match would end up scoreless. So you have to kind of understand, if you're West Virginia, that you were probably going to let one in. Marshall just way too good to try and post a shutout, although that, of course, is the goal. So if you're playing the long game, if you're the Mountaineers, you have to understand they're going to get one. And it happened to come first, and you have to respond. If you're Marshall, the same thing. This is a pretty potent West Virginia attack. We'd love to get another shutout to your credit, but you know that this is a long way to go.
Thundering Herd with 7 total shutouts this season, 6 belonging to the goalkeeper Gabriel Perota, the 7th a combined shutout against Cleveland State. Sukata wins a header. Marshall has it back on the far side. Caldera tracking back, can't intercept the pass. So here's Pablo Simon, the Sun Belt Conference Player of the Week. Okiyoshi. Pace slowing down just a little bit as Marshall tries to settle in. But by a snap of the fingers, the Herd can turn deadly, as we saw a few moments ago on the Matthew Bell goal in the 6th minute. Uh-oh. Player slips and falls. Here's Marcus Caldera. Caldera, left-footed shot is saved by Perota.
Good job in pursuit there by Fujita to force Caldera to take this off his left foot, but the slippage there starts Marcus Caldera on the run. Perota able to make that save rather easily, all things considered.
But both goalkeepers called into action here in the first 9 minutes.
Yeah, and you talked about Perota being off of his line. That is not a surprise. That is the way he plays. Marshall plays with essentially 11 field players because he gets involved in the buildup as well. So not a surprise to see him high up on the pitch, because he will get involved in the buildup.
Marshall coach Chris Grassi has praised Perota not just as a tremendous shot stopper, which is his job as a goalkeeper, but as a great distributor, because they ask a lot of him to help get involved. He's got a touch here as the Thundering Herd try to regroup. Grassi also praising his grad student goalkeeper as a fine young man, saying he's a servant leader. That's a direct quote from Grassi. Player that stays after practice, after team meals, will clean up after his teammates. On the other end, Matthew Bell trying to send a player forward. He had Amen Sordo at the penalty spot, but it was deflected and scooped up by Jackson Lee.
Yeah, that's what we call a team dad, right? The one that kind of takes care of everybody else. And he also has 34 career shutouts, which is the most among active players. So not only is he a gentleman, but a fine player as well, and a good representative of the university.
Herd, Max Broughton had to intervene to clear it away. Throw in for Marshall coming.
Nick, we talked about which players are going to step up under these bright lights, and surprise, surprise, Matthew Bell, the star for Marshall, comes through in the early going. And again, still a long way to go with this, but West Virginia's star had an opportunity, was not able to convert.
Opportunity the other way. Ors Navarro with the through ball to McCormick. Back to Ors Navarro! Equalizer! Listen to that roar! West Virginia won, Marshall won, and we barely played 10 minutes.
Well, we knew this was going to be a lot of fun, and here we go. Again, I thought 0-0 wasn't a likely outcome. I thought 1-0 wasn't a likely outcome. So here we go, off to the races. This is just two good teams going at it, and a clinical finish here. West Virginia winning that ball in the midfield and off to the run. A great overlap there, and just a terrific finish there for Ors Navarro, going to get the ball out of the net. Hustle play, and another assist here for Luke McCormick to knock this one up here for the Mountaineers.
How many big moments has Luke McCormick been a part of for West Virginia? The 5th year from Derby, England, with the assist on the Ors Navarro leveler. He had the assist on Ike Swiger's goal in the spring of 2021. West Virginia beating Marshall 1-0, the final team to beat the Herd before that national championship run. He had a goal against number 3 Pitt in 2021. That is a big-time play. He now is in sole possession of 4th place with 20 career assists, surpassing West Virginia legend Andy Bevan after that assist.
A lot to talk about with both of these goals. We've seen a ball get won, sent in, and then following that up. So we saw Matthew Bell do it, chip it, chase it, get to that back post. Sergio Ors Navarro had to work a little bit harder to get his goal past Perota.
Here's Ryan Baer on the ball, and he certainly deserves credit for that goal. It was his tackle on Taimu Okioshi that sprung the Mountaineers free. Baer, one of the unsung heroes on this West Virginia team, the senior from North Carolina, so steady in the midfield. And by the way, if he logs 50-plus minutes tonight, he will surpass 5,000 for his career. He has not scored a goal, but that stat tells you just how integral he's been to Dan Stratford's side over the last few seasons. So, Adam, how do you expect Marshall to respond after allowing West Virginia to tie this one up?
Well, probably with a goal, right? I mean, that's just kind
of the way it goes.
That's the way that this pace is going. Yeah, I mean, these are two teams just going toe-to-toe. Both teams are taking chances. I think that's the neat part about this not being a knockout match, that teams can go after. You know, sometimes in the NCAA tournament or Sunbelt tournament, when it is knockout play, you can get a little bit tighter. This one is free-flowing. I think both teams feel pretty confident about their postseason hopes. So this is the kind and brand of soccer I think we are hoping to see tonight. So I continue to see these teams continue to try and be open.
Long ball, past the defender, Caldera in the clear, 2-1 West Virginia, just like that.
Well, we talked about the big-time players under these bright lights. Caldera didn't take advantage of the first one, makes the most of the second one, and we have 3 goals here in just 12 minutes. Unbelievable start here to this one, and we still got a long way to go. Boy, is this a lot of fun.
Marcus Caldera, the Sunbelt Conference leader in goals. 10 on the season, 15 on his career. The Portland goal was huge. This is pretty big too.
Oh, we talked about how quickly Marshall goes from back to front. How about West Virginia popping that one over the top? Caldera so big and strong, gets to the ball first and puts it away. That's a tough ask there for Perota. We know how good of a shot stopper he is, but even under those circumstances, that is a tough one. And you see that crowd celebrating. A great shot of the crowd here tonight. A lot of energy in this stadium.
They'll credit the assist to the goalkeeper, Jackson Lee, on the long ball. Believe that's his first career assist, certainly his first assist at West Virginia. Maybe in his collegiate career, he played 2 seasons at George Mason before transferring to WVU. It's the 12th minute. West Virginia has already overcome a 1-0 deficit and is now just the second team. Only 2 teams have let Marshall this season. West Virginia, one of those 2.
Well, we got a long way to go here, and we talk about Perota getting involved in the attack. He also has an assist this year.
Bad decision. Here's Olakainen, a little bit strong for Caldera. It's 2 goals for Marcus Caldera. A brace in seconds. Can you believe this? 3-1.
I'm not sure that I can. Marcus Caldera with a brace just seconds after he gives West Virginia the 2-1 lead. The Mountaineers are flying here, and we knew Marshall was going to have a lot of touches in the back. West Virginia picked an opportunity to attack, wins it, and sets up this 3rd goal.
Well, if you watch this replay, this does not look like the #1 team in the nation, quite frankly. Marshall has fallen asleep here. Otto Olakainen picks off the pass. It's not a great touch from Caldera, but he makes do with it anyway. One more time, Dugan's pass picked cleanly away by Olakainen, who gets the assist on the Caldera goal with his left foot. It's 11 goals this season for the Sunbelt leader.
Well, and we've seen Marshall have some touches, and they will at times appear casual. And it was West Virginia just surging on some of those casual passes and that casual appearance. But it's not unusual for Marshall to just kind of stand on the ball and look around. As we see right here, that's not unusual, but it's West Virginia's response, pressing some of those moments and then Marshall has to hurry up and defend, and that's been a little bit of a change.
We've played just over 12 minutes. We've had already 4 goals. West Virginia seems to be on the run again. Here's Marcus Caldera, thinking about a hat trick perhaps, picked away. Good recovery by Marshall to earn possession back. Sukata pokes it free. Ors Navarro. Boy, it's a frantic pace in favor of the team in gold right now.
I think that one went to Star City all the way down the hill. A lot of energy flowing around here, and you have to settle yourself down. Both teams need to settle themselves down a little bit. Marshall huddled after that goal, tried to take a breath and relax. West Virginia flying around. You want to take advantage of that, but you can't get caught in a bad situation and let Marshall pop one over top of you as well.
Well, entering this contest, the Thundering Herd had given up just 5 goals through 12 matches. West Virginia has scored 3 in the span of less than 2 minutes. Ors Navarro, 79 seconds later. Caldera, 26 seconds later. Marcus Caldera again.
I'm just wondering how much space we're going to need on that screen here to get all of the scoring that might occur here tonight. And again, another bad giveaway for Marshall. Just a little bit out of sorts here. They need to collect themselves. Still a long way to go in this one.
Here's Ors Navarro. A few Marshall players have also lost their footing a couple of times tonight. Good defending in the midfield by Alexander Sterngard. Godar thought he had some space, falls to Caldera. He's got numbers, but the pass is behind Olakainen. And stepping into it is Okioshi to earn it back for the Thundering Herd.
Well, West Virginia has not been afraid to press, and that's been a key here in these moments, making Marshall play a little bit quicker and at times being a little quicker to the ball and winning deep in Marshall's own end.
Here's Godar charging forward. He's got a teammate through. Believe it was Sordo who was in the box. Throw-in coming from Marshall after the clearance.
We saw how dynamic Sordo can be with the acrobatic bicycle kick against Coastal Carolina. So a lot of dangerous attacking players. We already talked about Matthew Bell and Marco Silva and Marshall's talented attacking players. They just come in waves. So that's what makes them so difficult. You can't just say, oh, we're going to try and stop Matthew Bell tonight and we'll have a great night. You have to be aware of all of the attacking players because they like to send, Marshall likes to send a lot of runners into that box.
That one beyond Huckabee. Could be trouble here for West Virginia. Here's Iomesh on the right foot. Oh, just wide. Looked like a dangerous chance for Adam Iomesh. He scored 5 goals already this season.
Yeah, I think Huckabee got caught a little bit with that ball over his head. Tried to close it down. Got a little bit of help there from Ryan Baer late. But it was almost a second goal from Iomesh. Good strike. West Virginia has to be really careful on this back line. When Marshall is in that final third, they can be really dangerous. I think the Mountaineers have done a nice job of limiting the touches for Marshall in that part of the field at this time. But again, this reconfigured back line, Dante Huckabee played right back as a freshman at Louisville, but this is a different task here tonight, and we'll see if Marshall tries to pursue that point on the field, continue to pursue that point on the field here tonight. But again, the center backs are going to have to be really connected as well, trying to deal with the Marshall attack.
Just past a quarter of an hour gone here at Dick Gillespie Soccer Stadium. Nick Farrell and Adam Zundel here with you. An entertaining Sun Belt Conference clash from the University City. And if you're just joining us because you've seen some buzz on Facebook or Twitter, you've missed a lot. 4 goals in the first 12 minutes of action. Marshall scored first through Matthew Bell, the team's goals leader. And then West Virginia responded with a trio of goals in quick succession. One by Sergio Ors Navarro and a pair by Marcus Caldera, the Sun Belt's leader in goals. Shot is deflected. Falls back to the Herd. Bell trying to get a touch on it. Shot ricochets for a corner kick. I think it was Hai Pinto who had the blast that deflected off Broughton. First corner of the night for either team.
West Virginia knocking down a couple of shots here, deflecting them. That's really key. The Thundering Herd, we just talked about not having a ton of touches in that final third. Got a couple of there, but West Virginia able to deflect those.
The sophomore from Denmark, Alexander Sterngard, to take.
The center back, Morris Dugan, is a great target here.
Goal for Marshall. 3-2 in the 18th minute.
I'm not sure if I called my shot there, Nick, but I think it was Dugan on the near post. He's a big target out of that center back position, makes that run to the near post and puts it back in the back of the net.
Absolutely was. Dugan, the captain, on the near post. So it's an 18th minute goal by Morris Dugan. That's his second of the season. And the assist off the corner kick from Sterngard, his 5th assist of the season. And it's 3-2. And the scoring does not seem like it's going to stop.
No, I think that the amount of energy in this match has not allowed it to settle.
Here's West Virginia asking the question again. Ors Navarro just outside the box. Cross is headed away and defended well by Marshall. It was Dugan again with the intervention. Huckabee chipping toward the corner flag. Marcus Caldera on a brace, his second of the season. Throw in West Virginia. Goals by Bell and Dugan for Marshall. Goals by Ors Navarro and a pair by Caldera for West Virginia. 3-2 Mountaineers, still early in this contest.
And the set piece was exactly what Marshall needed in that moment, executed to perfection. Great ball from Sterngard. He is the one that takes the corner kicks normally. And again, it was Morris Dugan. I think the ball was in the air when I said he was a good target. Watching Marshall play this season, they like to get it to him, but that ball can also skip across, and the Thundering Herd like to make a run to that back post. But Dugan had the duty and was able to put it away.
This is Pinto for Marshall to Pablo Simon. Pass Freddie Jorgensen for West Virginia. Jorgensen fighting back, and he fouls Simon. Free kick coming for the Thundering Herd. Simon appealing for a yellow card.
Well, both players were shoulder to shoulder here, and you see both kind of giving it, and a little bit more there at the end. I think it is a foul. I don't think it was a card per the request of Simone, but there definitely was contact.
Well, we saw Marshall score a goal about 2 minutes ago from a set piece. Potentially a similar routine here from the corner of the 18-yard box. It'll be Adam Iomesh over the ball for the Thundering Herd, trailing by a goal. A golden chance to equalize here. Service from Iomesh. This time headed away by West Virginia. Jorgensen on the near post. McCormick has his jersey tugged. That's some extracurricular that's unnecessary. It'll be a yellow card to Adam Iomesh.
That's an important card here, as we still have a long way to go in this match. And we talked with both coaches about the importance of composure. You already got the foul on the jersey tug. The whistle had blown, and then that tackle will earn you a card. Pretty easy for the referee in a game that's not going to have a lot of easy decisions. I think that might have been one of them.
West Virginia 3, Marshall 2. It's the first time this season any opponent has scored multiple goals against the Thundering Herd. Marshall entered this game having only conceded 5 goals, with the best goal differential in the nation at plus 33. But the Thundering Herd has trailed since the 12th minute, also marking the most amount of time that it has trailed in a singular match. Entering the game, Marshall had only trailed for 4 minutes and 17 seconds against Georgia Southern, went down 1-0, won that game against a Sunbelt foe 3-1. Referee says play on, but McCormick's pass is picked away by Takahiro Fujita for Marshall. Back to Fujita and back to Perota.
With all the talk about this match kind of hitting different, you see it in the way that in the score line. This is not something that Marshall has encountered. A lot of it has to do with the energy in this crowd and the talent for West Virginia, but this is a little bit of a different match here tonight.
Flag is up for offside. Free kick coming for West Virginia. Just to continue that point, is West Virginia dictating the pace, Adam, or is the atmosphere that just really got these teams sort of out of sorts?
Well, I think the energy in the building is affecting both teams, but I think what West Virginia is doing is in the press, winning some of those balls, and Marshall's not able to keep that possession. The Thundering Herd love to have the ball. They love to possess large portions of the game. That's not happened in this one, and that's a little bit of an adjustment here that Marshall's going to have to either find ways to have more of the ball and do what they like to do, play slow and then go fast, or they're going to have to turn things up and adjust with this West Virginia press.
May need to check the tape on this, but with the exception of Marcus Caldera's first goal and the corner kick goal by Morris Dugan, I think the other 3 goals came after miscues by the conceding team. Certainly that's how Matthew Bell scored Marshall's first goal. Here's Iomesh on the far side for the Thundering Herd. Cross toward Bell. Lee has to come out and collects. They want to go deep once again. Lee boots it to Sukata, but Fujita wins the header.
Yeah, I think West Virginia's first 2 goals came on some miscues in press. The 3rd goal came on the pop over top from Jackson Lee, and Marshall took advantage of a West Virginia miscue and then scored on that set opportunity.
Midway through the first half, West Virginia 3, Marshall 2. Flag stays down. Cross into the box. Borutsky puts his right foot into it. Still Simone for Marshall. Back to Sterngard, who had the assist on the corner kick goal. Dugan in possession. He scored the most recent goal. Fujita. Godar. On for Amen Sordo.
There's a big pocket of space there.
Look out here.
West Virginia defense.
Yellow card for Amen Sordo in the 24th minute. Second Marshall player booked in 4 minutes.
It is right in front of that standing room only West Virginia crowd over there. Again, emotions are high. You have to be composed in these moments. Have another look at it on the far side. Oh, way late. Absolutely.
But Bear has to be careful there with the push as well.
I think the referee showed a lot of discretion there because the foul was pretty egregious, and the card on that one is what was warranted. But I think he let Bear get away with maybe a little bit more than usual given the nature of that tackle.
So West Virginia learned a lesson in the fall 2021 Mountain State Derby when veteran Luke McCormick was sent off late in the contest, which was a 2-2 draw that went to double overtime. Already 2 yellow cards in this match, both of them distributed to Thundering Herd players. Sukata wins a corner kick for West Virginia. While there have been a lot of fireworks, Marshall has done a good job against one of the most electric wingers in the country through the first 25 minutes or so. That's been Hai Pinto's assignment. By the way, the number 6 freshman in the country, according to Top Drawer Soccer's Top 100 ranking, which was released earlier this week. 3 freshmen for Marshall made the top 10. Konstantinos Christou of West Virginia at number 20. 25th minute, corner kick for West Virginia. Ors Navarro, ambitious. Some might say right off the training ground. That one seemed right off the playground.
Yeah, I think it caught a lot of Marshall's players just standing and watching this one, then trying to charge and knock it down. But it was a clean look there at the top of the box. That's going to be a difficult one to put on frame. It would certainly go in the highlight reel if you're able to get it. But yeah, absolutely drawn up and executed pretty well. That is a tough ask, though, to try and put that one on frame.
Amen Sordo on the far side to Adam Iomesh. And now Godar back to Iomesh. Here's Pinto. Pablo Simon. Into Bell, great touch. Deflected by Borutsky. It was a clean look by Okioshi. Marshall still in possession. I think the flag went up on the far corner flag. No, it is for a corner kick, and Jackson Lee appealing why was it not an offside.
There'll be some discussion here and some communication between the officials, fourth official, and then the AR and our center.
Well, it worked from the near side corner flag. Could it work from the far side? Sterngard again. Curling in, headed away by West Virginia. Luke McCormick hustling for it. Can't get there in time. Ball pinged out toward midfield, and it does fall to McCormick. Chance here for West Virginia. It's a 2-on-3. Through ball to Yutaro Sukata. Sukata on his right foot. Off the side netting. Another golden opportunity for the team in gold, but this one just doesn't connect.
I got to tell you, I'm a little surprised that the flag stayed down on this one. And this is how much fun this one is. Back and forth. Sakata, maybe a little bit slow on that touch, isn't able to put it on frame. You see Marshall asking for the offside call. It does not end up making a difference. But man, end-to-end action here tonight. Every breakaway is an opportunity. And also give a lot of credit to Matthew Bell, who was on his horse chasing that ball down as your top attacking player trying to get back and defend.
Saw a flash of speed again there from Bell. Throw in coming for West Virginia.
That is track speed, my friend. That is, it's different. Again, to choose that phrase, he's built different.
He's got 9 assists this season. He's got 8 goals, including tonight's tally. Last year's Sun Belt Freshman of the Year and first team All Sun Belt honoree. Free kick for Marshall just on the other side of midfield.
Yeah, 2 games of 3 assists this year, hoping to pad that total. And he's proven that he's more than just a goal scorer with those assists. And that's a little bit how he's developed here in his second year at Marshall, not just getting goals. And I say just getting goals in air quotes, but getting goals and then also just being a dynamic playmaker.
Dueling chants from the fans tonight. Capacity crowd, beyond capacity crowd at Dick Dalesk Soccer Stadium. What a tremendous atmosphere for this Mountain State Derby. By the way, if you're curious, the coaches on both sides expect an attendance record to fall tonight. Will it be the men's soccer attendance record at West Virginia, 2,900, the facility record here at Dick Dalesk Stadium, which is 3,000, or the Mountain State Derby attendance record, which is 3,033, set 2 years ago at Hoops Family Field in Huntington?
You know, I think you take a look at the attendance records here, and I think the big winner tonight, no matter what happens, is the state of West Virginia in soccer and helping to grow the game in this state. I was here a long time ago when none of these stands existed, and there was just a couple of rows of bleachers. And just to see this environment and this high level of play is just really, really tremendous.
Sordo links with Simone. Simone gets around one, but can't get past Broughton. Throw in for the Herd near side. Nearing the half-hour mark at Dick Dalesk Soccer Stadium. Nick Farrell and Adam Zundel here for this Sun Belt rivalry clash on ESPN+. West Virginia leading 3-2 thanks to a barrage of goals in a span of less than 2 minutes. Marshall trailed 3-1, responded in the 18th minute with a goal off a corner kick by Morris Dugan, and that's where we stand at 3-2. Thinking about an equalizer here is Marshall, just touched away by West Virginia. Pinto keeps it in near side. Good dummy there by Pablo Simon. He's exciting to watch on this near flank, and he's won another corner for Marshall.
I think West Virginia's got to be a little bit careful here in the middle of the park as players are making runs towards the near post, there's big gap of space between those center backs that Marshall will be able to send some players in on the attack in those gaps.
First changes here for Marshall. The newcomers are number 12, Joao Roberto, a freshman from Santos, Brazil, and Alvaro Garcia Pascual, the junior from Spain and a transfer from Coastal Carolina. To the bench, Iomesh, who picked up a yellow card, and Amin Sordo, who also has been issued a yellow card.
Yeah, Garcia Pascual is a game changer here coming in for Marshall. The foul is whistled on that one. He was off to a really hot start this season with 4 goals and 3 assists in the first 5 matches, but he's missed about a month. Saw a little bit of action the other night against Coastal Carolina. Interestingly enough, he was in street clothes in the first half and then came out and got dressed at halftime and got some minutes, but he is a big-time player here for Marshall. We talked about the offensive and attacking depth. He is a part of that component.
West Virginia trying the long ball again from the restart. Sukata won the first header, but Fujita took it away. Now here's another chance for West Virginia with numbers. Olakainen options either side. Picks out Ors Navarro at the top of the box. Curler! Wide. Goal kick.
And another Marshall player hits the turf and leads to a turnover. West Virginia goes on the attack.
And the first change for West Virginia is Christou for Sukata as we take another look at the Ors Navarro shot. Young ball boy, very aware to duck out of the way there. That was a heat-seeking missile. Sukata to the bench. Konstantinos Christou, the freshman from Nicosia, Cyprus, into the match for WVU. Uh-oh. Another dangerous moment there at the back caused by West Virginia's press. It's a corner kick coming for WVU.
And again, it's not unusual for Perot to be touching the ball there. That is what Marshall does, but West Virginia is sending pressure. And again, it's a little bit of the environment making every situation just a little bit more difficult.
The substitutes, Christou to take the corner. A Mountaineer down in the box. Marshall heads it away. Falls all the way to Ryan Baer near the midfield circle. Caldera. Olakainen with a bit of space. Christou, who can be creative with the ball on his feet. Jorgensen. And Broughton for West Virginia. Ors Navarro on the far side, has it under his control. Lays it off to McCormick. Great move by McCormick. Christou can't corral it though, and Marshall has possession.
That was an instant there for Marshall where I thought they might want to play a little bit quicker. You know, the instinct is to go and possess and build, but at this moment, perhaps getting a little bit up the field a little bit faster might be a good course of action. Well, here they go again, so quick back to front.
This is better for Marshall here. Bell charging in, shot is deflected by Borutsky, a good hard tackle. Simone splitting a pair of defenders well and draws a foul. He's again asking for a yellow card. And this time, a Mountaineer will be booked. It's Freddie Jorgensen.
A great individual effort here by Simone, splitting the defenders. Again, they're locked arm in arm there. It's going to get the card on Jorgensen. What a great individual effort there by Simone. Once again, asks for the card, he gets it, and a dangerous opportunity here for the Thundering Herd.
Service coming again from Sterngard. 2 players in the wall for West Virginia. Lee punches it skyward, and McCormick heads it out of the box.
You know, interesting on that set piece, Marcus Caldera had the assignment of Dugan. So you have a center back, big, strong, physical, and you have Marcus Caldera, your forward, big, strong, physical, trying to hold him off. But that is another, again, continue to watch that on these set pieces here for Marshall.
Caldera playing wide now. Just saw him take a touch on this near side a moment ago. He normally slots in centrally as a striker for WVU, but we've seen him drift wide to the wing. Marshall has a player with that similar sort of versatility, and Matthew Bell can play striker, can play winger, can play as a central midfielder.
Yeah, when you're a playmaker, you can do it all, and you might be asked to do it in a couple of different spots. They see West Virginia. After that touch from the goalkeeper, it's a rush. We talk about a gold rush. There was a rush of gold jerseys towards Marshall once that ball leaves Perota's foot.
Free kick for Marshall.
Simone has hit the turf a couple of times here this evening.
Certainly a physical game. As we take another look at the tackle that brought Simone to the turf. A match that has lived up to the hype so far. Final 10 minutes of the first half, West Virginia leading Marshall 3-2. Simone, Sterngard. No foul, says the referee, Lucas Feathers. Chance to counter again for West Virginia. Charging forward is Luke McCormick. McCormick has it taken away by Simone. He's not just taking the hits, he can deliver them himself, can the winger from Spain.
What a ball there from Marshall. Good first touch. Releases the pressure and allows Marshall to be further up the field with the ball. A nice deep switch.
Here's Okiyoshi. Pinto. Simone in space. Okiyoshi again. Bell. Two players collapse on him. A third comes in, and it's the third, Broughton, who takes it away. West Virginia wants to go when it takes possession away from Marshall. Here's Marcus Caldera. Thundering Herd sending numbers backward. Great ball to Ors Navarro, just wide. Oh, that would have been a beautiful finish had it connected.
I see Sergio Ors Navarro with a little bit of a look of disappointment there. Caldera does a nice job playing it forward himself into space. A good ball here. And this is effort. Oh, on the outside of the foot. I missed that the first time. Got it off his boot quickly. Get another look at this one. Plays it quick off the outside of his boot. Catches them a little bit off guard. And that allowed Sergio Ors Navarro to make that aggressive run towards that near post.
Two changes for West Virginia. One of them is Toma Dikatene, the far side fullback for West Virginia. His first action after missing 4 games with a groin injury. Here he is in possession. And a great move by Dikatene to move West Virginia forward. The other new substitute is Ryan Crooks. Dikatene extremely dangerous on the right side, a terrific crosser. Native of Lille, France, and a grad transfer from UConn. Played 4 seasons there. He's making his 9th appearance for the Old Gold and Blue tonight.
He certainly got introduced into this game quickly with touches and a run.
Jorgensen with the header, but it falls to Matthew Bell. Oh, tricky move by Bell, but the referee again says no foul. What a dart that is. Ors Navarro, Perota's off his line. Did he handle that ball? The referee says no, but West Virginia's coaches seem convinced that Perota handled the ball outside of the box.
We're going to get another great look at it. West Virginia is getting out on the attack so quick, I believe it hit his leg.
Absolutely. Boy, that's fast action. But again, as you mentioned earlier, that's Perota's ability to come out and almost be like a sweeper keeper to be that last man to beat.
It takes a lot of courage to be able to go and do that, guts, all of that. And he is able to do it. And again, nothing seems to bother him. He's very composed.
Inside a sea of people, Freddie Jorgensen to deliver a service from the far side corner flag. Broughton, oh, again, Another ambitious moment there from West Virginia. There's been about 3 of those in the last 15 minutes. Nothing doing there. Mountaineers still lead by a goal.
I bet West Virginia saw the highlight film with Sordo hitting the bicycle kick the other day. Gives that an attempt. West Virginia, the ball goes out of play, and we'll give the ball to Marshall.
Well, Adam Sundell, with so much happening in the early goings in this match, we have neglected to even mention the connection between West Virginia head coach Dan Stratford and Marshall head coach Chris Grassi. Referee Lucas Feathers having a discussion with Ryan Crooks as we've got a restart coming from Marshall. Of course, Grassi, the former head coach at the University of Charleston, hired Dan Stratford as an assistant coach. Grassi took on the job at Marshall. Stratford replaced him at Charleston, winning a pair of national championships together. A 4-year span of Final Fours consecutively for Charleston, led either by Grassi or Stratford. 2 coaches that go way back and seem to have not just a good friendship, almost a brotherly relationship.
Yeah, I mean, how much fun would it be if they really disliked each other? But no, I'm just kidding. It's great. They're great friends. They talk all the time. They talked about, again, this match is getting, the intensity is turning up a couple of more notches, but great friends. They talk all the time. They went and had went to the pub the night before the match. Coach Stratford owes a lot to Chris Grassi. He admits that. And together they built a powerhouse at Charleston. And then Chris Grassi went and said, we're going to go do this at Marshall. And they did, won the national championship.
West Virginia into the box. Ryan Crooks runs out of space. Goal kick for Marshall. But just to put a bow on that thought, Adam, it's not just the teams. Yes, the players are going to decide the action, but a big reason why there are so many people here tonight, a record crowd at Dick Dalesk Soccer Stadium, have to give credit to these 2 coaches, Grassi for Marshall, Stratford for West Virginia, both of them integral in elevating the level of play in men's soccer here in the Mountain State.
Yeah, and I think it kind of can go back to that mentality that they built at the University of Charleston, the fact that you can win a national championship in West Virginia. And again, the same sort of approach is what Chris Grassi used at Marshall. And Coach Stratford, with his own spin and own adaptation, is trying to do the same thing at West Virginia. Certainly has the Mountaineers highly ranked and is seeking the first star on their crest.
Stratford credits his time at Charleston under Grassi, and then as the head man, as the reason why he has enjoyed success at WVU. He learned the most important lesson in his coaching career at Charleston, that it's the coaches and the environment they create that leads to winning, not the facilities. Yeah, recruiting helps, but it's the atmosphere that starts with the coaches that can lead to long-term sustained success.
If you're a winner, you can win anywhere. And both of these coaches are winners. And you plop them down in any other place, you can take them to Alaska, they're going to win in Alaska.
The crowd loves that from West Virginia. Mountaineers heading the other way once again. Final 3 minutes of the first half.
And to be clear, I'm not trying to get rid of either of them.
No,
we love this. We love this. We love what they've brought to the state, what they're doing for the universities.
Creasdu with a great move. Creasdu with a great pass. Ryan Crooks off the post. That looked like 4-2. Ryan Crooks had a day to set that one up. So close.
He really did have all the time in the world. A great ball there across the pitch, and that one just hits the post. You're going to get another look at it and just see how much time Ryan Crooks has for that. He's asking for it, begging for it. That is an unbelievable amount of time in the 18-yard box to get that shot off.
Final 2 minutes of the first half. We remind you to stay with us during halftime for our halftime update from Dick Dalesk Soccer Stadium. Uh-oh, another opportunity perhaps for West Virginia. No, it does fall to Fujita, and maybe a collective sigh of relief there from the Thundering Herd, pushing it forward. Great dummy by Sordo. or rather Simone. Jorgensen recovers and keeps it in. Here's Okiyoshi. Matthew Bell, who scored the opener, to Pinto. Pinto's cross is deflected by Crooks. Pinto tries again. Crooks wins the duel for the moment. Christou and Sterngard jockeying. West Virginia takes the ball back. Ors Navarro wants the ball. Service is a little bit short. Morris Dugan collects. Final 45 seconds in the first half of this Mountain State Derby. Olakainen with the interception, looking to see if he had numbers. He's got an overlapper, but chooses Ors Navarro. 30 seconds to go. We've had magic, we've had drama in the first half. Do we have one more spark still to come? 20 seconds left. Olakainen is plowed through. Here's Joao Roberto from Marshall with the chip. Oh, Freddie Jorgensen with an absolutely class play on the end line before halftime. That is incredible.
What a play. The Marshall bench is asking for it to be reviewed. I
surely saved it.
Yeah, because he caught it right at the line and sent it over the crossbar.
And we will have a video review. We're watching the replay ourselves, but the referee, Lucas Feathers, has just gestured that he is going to come over to the near sideline and take a look at the replay. So here's how this works. It's not a broadcast feed. It's the Spidio camera, which is basically an all-22 cam. One more look. That might be the best look, right, Adam?
And I got to tell you, I mean, I don't do physics. Just basically the way where Freddie Jorgensen hits that ball and pops it over the top. I just can't see a way in which that would be a goal.
It's close. It's close. One more look at the best angle. The entire ball has to cross the byline.
Yeah, and it's going to be tough from that angle, but it would be difficult for that ball to be in and for him to pop it straight up and not hit the crossbar. I guess that's ultimately my point, but it looks like the teams are staying out here as this one gets reviewed. There would only be seconds left. I guess that would be the other part of it is how much time would be left on the clock.
It was the freshman from Brazil, Joao Roberto's opportunity that for the moment was cleared. For the moment was cleared off the byline by the right back, Freddie Jorgensen for West Virginia. One more look at Roberto's chip over Lee. It's very close.
What a terrific individual effort. You thought Marshall, I mean, you cannot let up in either team cannot let up on this one. And Jorgensen hustles back and tries to save a goal. We have the call here.
The referee, Lucas Feathers, with the verdict, no goal. And the call on the field stands. We're going to take one more look at it. Freddie Jorgensen, a heroic play to keep West Virginia in front of number 1 Marshall.
It's a great individual effort, and it really kind of changes the tenor of this one. If that one goes in, Marshall carries all of the momentum, and the nature of that play, that hustle, was huge for West Virginia.
We've got Dan Stratford joining us, the head coach of the Mountaineers. Dan, a quick thought on the first half. We knew it was an unprecedented night, but this has been nuts.
You having fun?
Oh, absolutely. Are you?
Yeah, it's good.
What allowed you to score 3 goals in the first half?
I think we executed really well in some of the high press moments. The tactics so far have worked really nicely. We still want to make sure we can pick our moments and keep the ball, but I guess, my only disappointment, as mad as it's going to sound, is that we haven't scored the 4th and the 5th. We've had some incredible opportunities. The close one just wide, hit the post. So, let's make sure we're on the front foot in the second half and extend the lead.
Dan, thanks.
Thank you.
West Virginia leading 3-2 over Marshall. Goals by Sergio Ors Navarro and a brace by Marcus Caldera, making the difference so far in the Mountain State Derby. Our halftime report from Morgantown coming up next on ESPN+.
We want it all. We want beards and lattes.
Great.
We want to be invited.
Great.
And not attend.
Great.
We want to take the shortcut.
You lost?
And not be in danger.
Reverse.
Sadly, we can't have it all. Except at Sport Clips, where we check in with the pros in men's hair and totally check out with pure, uninterrupted relaxation. Sport Clips. It's a game changer.
How good does it feel when Threshold Decor welcomes more seasonal style for less? When you can save on Good and Gather groceries and all the fall flavors. And when quality ingredients bring more to the table. When you get low prices on the latest trends. When rewards come with quality and coziness. And when you're serving up taste they love at low prices. That's totally Target.
Hey, wake up. The words in your head, you're the only one that can hear them. Say it. Yes, I can. Move. Feel it. Hold on to this feeling. Yes, I can. Yes, I must. Watch me.
Pain doesn't care who you are or why you hurt, but pain can be mastered if you know the way. Fight back with Tiger Balm's legendary herbal power. Trusted for over 100 years, our proven blend of camphor, menthol, and essential oils tames pain with the strength and speed of the tiger, so that you can rise above pain and get back to living. This is the way of the tiger.
Nothing held back. All for the love of soccer.
Superb racing.
Rain-X water repellency wiper blades apply the magic of Rain-X to your windshield, so water beads up and flies away. The improved water beading technology lasts longer, so you see clearly. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
We promised you drama. We promised you theater. The players have absolutely delivered. Halftime in Morgantown, number 5, West Virginia leading number 1, Marshall, 3-2. And we welcome you back inside the stadium. Nick Farrell here alongside Adam Zundel. Adam, can you summarize this first half of action in this 5-goal thriller? I am finding myself at a loss.
Well, let's use Dan Stratford's words. It's been fun. I mean, I hope this is your first time watching soccer, because all games are like this, and it's a lot of fun. It's been end to end, and we've talked about players making plays. The big-time players have stepped up tonight, and we have gotten everything that we've asked for, and we're only halfway through. It's been so much fun.
Exciting second half surely on the way. But right now, let's reset the importance of this contest, right? Because both Marshall and West Virginia entered the night as 2 of the final 6 remaining unbeaten teams in Division I men's soccer. Right now, Marshall topping the Sun Belt standings with a whopping 15 points, whereas West Virginia has 9, but still an opportunity to climb to that 2 seed, which is important in the Sun Belt tournament.
Yeah, if you get that 2 seed, you're going to host a couple of matches, and get a win over Marshall would be huge as you look at the rest of your schedule and try to collect some more points.
Both of these teams will have 3 Sun Belt Conference games left before postseason play begins in November. So let's take a look at the remainder of the schedule for the number 5 Mountaineers. An important 2-game road trip is up next at Coastal Carolina and Kentucky. At the beginning of the season, Adam, you looked at that and said, okay, this is going to be an important stretch, but really Kentucky could still be a trap game, sure, but the Wildcats, who were picked to win the conference in the preseason, not having such a good season.
Yeah, it's been kind of shocking to see the preseason favorite at the bottom of the table this year, fighting to get into the Sun Belt tournament. Talked to a friend who does their games. They just can't overcome the amount of talent they lost from last year's squad.
Meanwhile, for Marshall, 2 home games remaining, 1 road game at Old Dominion. So you see some similar opponents for West Virginia and Marshall remaining in Kentucky and ODU.
Yeah, South Carolina gave West Virginia all kinds of trouble. The Mountaineers were able to get a victory there. And Kentucky, I think Kentucky's still a tough out because I know that they have a lot of talent. They've been a little bit snake bit, but they can always turn it around.
Hey, let's give a quick shout out to Gamecock Nation, man. I mean, they put more than 4,000 fans in the stands for home games this year. West Virginia just played at South Carolina and won 3-2. It's an incredible atmosphere like we're enjoying tonight here in Morgantown. Okay, one last note. The Sun Belt continues to dominate the top 25, specifically the top 5 in the United Soccer Coaches poll. At one point this season, Marshall, UCF, West Virginia were 1, 2, 3. Right now, it's Marshall 1, UCF 2, West Virginia 5.
Yeah, Sun Belt is the number 3 conference in the most recent RPI ratings, and you see that in the top 25, a little bit different, but you can definitely lay claim to a terrific conference in the Sun Belt. You have some dangerous teams. Georgia State, James Madison are in the mix. Got to have to do some work to try and get an at-large berth. But it has been a lot of fun in this conference here this year.
West Virginia giving Marshall everything it has right now. The perfect season for the Thundering Herd in danger. Halftime continues.
Life needs great teammates. Be there for yours. With retirement, benefits, and life insurance products, Symetra is your teammate for whatever lies ahead.
For everyone who's endured the bad seat, finally, sweet, sweet redemption. The Lexus TX, 3-row luxury that treats every seat like the best seat.
Look at that new titanium iPhone 15 Pro. Why don't I have one? You need to go to T-Mobile, where new and existing customers can get iPhone 15 Pro on them. I do need to switch to T-Mobile. You're very wise, Reflection Common. And you're very handsome, Real Common. You don't need hair. Yeah, hair is for suckers.
At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 15 Pro with titanium on us now and the freedom to upgrade every year.
I've seen the devastation caused by all kinds of trucks. Even large pickup trucks can cause catastrophic damage. So when I say hurt by a truck, I mean any kind of truck. Hurt by a truck? Call Colombo Law.
When Target's Threshold Decor welcomes more seasonal style for less. When rewards come with quality and coziness. And when you get low prices on the trends you love, that's totally Target.
Fries or fries and rings, BK combo, so many things. Iced or frozen drinks your way, put some choice back in your day. At BK, have it your way.
Get ready for hosting at the Home Depot with free delivery on over 2 million items every day. So you can refresh your space before Santa or the family comes to town. Get holiday ready with savings at the Home Depot.
A stupendous autumn moon overlooking the Mountain State Derby right now. At halftime, West Virginia leading #1 Marshall by a goal. Well, while we have an opportunity, let's tell you about West Virginia women's soccer. Nikki Izzo-Brown always finds a new level during the month of October, doesn't she? And that's exactly what's happening with the Mountaineer women's squad, Adam.
The Mountaineers have won 4 straight, and no surprise that they are all shutouts. West Virginia is looking very much like a typical West Virginia squad. Very stingy on defense, and then coming up with some opportunistic offensive plays. Taylor White has emerged as a star. She scored a goal in 3 of those last 4 games. And there it is. That's West Virginia women's soccer right there. 4 shutouts, out shooting opponents, and finding their form here towards the late season.
So let's take a look at what's coming up next for the Mountaineers.
The Mountaineers take on Cincinnati in the last regular season game here at Dick DeLess Soccer Stadium. The Bearcats are 3-7-6. As you see there, Mountaineers are making their way towards the Big 12 tournament in Round Rock, Texas. But Cincinnati is 0-4-4 at home, so it'll be a tough task as West Virginia tries to get a little bit more momentum as we head towards that Big 12 tournament.
Well, the Mountaineers love Round Rock, don't they? They won the Big 12 tournament last year on a sensational goal by Jordan Brewster. Right now, important to note that 10 teams qualify for the Big 12 tournament. West Virginia in the middle of the pack, yes, but certainly not in danger of missing the field.
No, and you see Cincinnati trying to make the Big 12 tournament in their inaugural season. A win at West Virginia would secure that. What's interesting about these standings in the Big 12 this year is the imbalanced schedule. West Virginia didn't have to play Texas Tech, didn't have to play BYU. They're taking advantage of that here in the latter parts of this season.
Here in the Mountain State Derby, number 5 West Virginia leads. Number 1 Marshall 3-2. We'll look at the highlights from an exciting first half next.
Life needs great teammates. Be there for yours. With retirement, benefits, and life insurance products, Symetra is your teammate for whatever lies ahead.
This is the all-electric Polestar 2. Now with faster charging and an improved range of up to 320 miles. Enhanced performance with rear or all-wheel drive and luxury design as standard. The all-electric Polestar 2. Visit polestar.com to test drive and order.
Lately, we see all kinds of law firms trying to imitate Colombo Law. Tell you what you do. When you see these imitators, I want you to think of one thing. If you or a family member have been hurt by a truck, call Colombo Law. The next thing you know, they'll have dogs on their commercials.
Yeah, with Metro, there's no contracts, no price hikes, no surprises. There's not a yada yada. Wait, Metro has not the contract yada yada?
What's this surprise yada yada? Price hike yada yada. Yada 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 yada.
Contract yada yada.
And this yada yada.
I don't know, kid. That one makes sense. Nada yada yada means wireless without the gotcha. No contracts, no price hikes, no surprises. Only at Metro.
Fries or fries and rings, BK combo, so many things. Iced or frozen drinks your way, put some choice back in your day. At BK, have it your way.
Get ready for hosting at the Home Depot with free delivery on over 2 million items every day. So you can refresh your space before Santa or the family comes to town. Get holiday ready with savings at the Home Depot.
Go to plan B. Okay, great. What is that?
Today, one of the best action movies ever made is on digital. Tom Cruise. Hit it. Mission Impossible. Dead Reckoning. Buy it now.
At halftime, the mentor is trailing the mentee. Dan Stratford leading Chris Grassi 3-2 in this Mountain State Derby. And Adam Zundel, oh my goodness, we've got some highlights, don't we? Let's start with the opening goal, which put Marshall in front. A great goal by their leading scorer, Matthew Bell.
Yeah, Matthew Bell starts that play and then finds his way to the back post to knock it in and give Marshall that 1-0 lead.
But then a barrage of goals, 3 to be exact, from West Virginia to answer the first, coming from the Spaniard, Sergio Ors Navarro, after a takeaway.
Yeah, turnover in the midfield. Great layoff there by Luke McCormick, and an absolute stunner of a strike there to level the match.
The Sun Belt's leading scorer then took care of business after that. Marcus Caldera, the sophomore from Canada, a brace for the second time this season.
Marcus Caldera is a big-time goal scorer. We see, again, it's going to be another turnover leading to a West Virginia goal as Caldera puts that one away.
So that made it 3-1, and it was just the 12th minute. Then a little bit of more action here. It's been a very physical game. West Virginia and Marshall just going toe-to-toe, but this play, Adam, is good as a goal for West Virginia.
We had 5 goals in that match, and maybe the best play of the night so far. was Jorgensen taking that ball off the line over the crossbar. They looked at it, no goal, and West Virginia goes into the half leading 3-2.
Likely looking at an attendance record tonight at Dick Deleske Soccer Stadium. The facility record is 3,000 for a women's soccer NCAA tournament contest back in 2008, pitting the Mountaineers and USC Trojans. Tonight, they had to bring in extra bleachers. This match was sold out 3 weeks in advance. Through 45 minutes, it lived up to the hype. Act 2 has begun in Morgantown. Teams have changed sides. Marshall in green and white stripes now attacking the goal to the left on your monitor. West Virginia in all blue on this Gold Rush night now attacking the goal to your right. Free kick coming for West Virginia. And Adam, it does have the sense that after that momentous clearance by Freddie Jorgensen just before halftime, how are these teams going to respond, and how critical are these next 10 to 15 minutes?
Yeah, we can't wait to see momentum ended there. If Marshall puts that one in, this whole match is on its head a little bit. West Virginia saves it, takes it off the line. Perhaps they're feeling a little bit better about themselves going into the break up a goal. But again, we heard Coach Stratford, he wants more. We're not sure 3 goals is going to win this, so you have to be on the attack.
Looks like the lineups have remained just about the same for both of these teams as the lineups that went into the locker room. For West Virginia in the back 4, Thomas DeContenay and Freddie Jorgensen. The fullbacks, the center backs are Max Broughton and Braden Borutsky. The midfielders still Ryan Baer and Otto Olakainen. Sergio Ors Navarro, Luke McCormick, Marcus Caldera, and Yutaro Sukata re-entering on the wings.
Give credit to the West Virginia back line. We talked about a little bit of a makeshift. Carlos Hernando not seeing action tonight. He is available but has not played, but the West Virginia defenders have been able to stand up as best they can against this exceptionally talented Marshall attack so far. Everything has to be caveated with, with what might happen next.
The attack for Marshall, it looks like it's Alvaro Garcia Pascual, its striker. The center attacking midfielder is Matthew Bell. Still on this near side wing is Joao Roberto, whose chip was cleared on the end line by Freddie Jorgensen. And the far side winger remains Pablo Simon, who scored 2 goals and had 2 assists Friday against Coastal Carolina and is the reigning Sun Belt Conference Offensive Player of the Week. By the way, 8 weeks, 8 weekly awards from the Sun Belt Conference. 7 belong to Mountaineer and Marshall players. Here's Roberto. His cross is defended by DeContenay and out for a corner kick for Marshall. And a yellow card has just been issued to Sergio Ors Navarro in the 48th minute. I think the referee might have played advantage on a foul near midfield.
2 cards apiece here, 2 for Marshall, 2 for West Virginia, so something to keep an eye on here as play continues in the second half. Marshall's able to score on a corner earlier tonight and to double up.
Sterngard, a whistle from the referee Lucas Feathers. The assistant referees Ross Kleinstuber, Sam Reynolds. The 4th official is Kevin Cook tonight. Sterngard will do it again from the corner flag. Here's the service from the sophomore. Near post, Bell had a great look at it, but it's off the side netting.
The fans clad in green tonight were excited, thinking that it had gone in, and Bell gets a really good look at it.
We've seen a goal line clearance, we've seen post, we've now seen side netting twice, and we've seen the back of the net 5 times in the first 20 minutes of this contest.
I mean, we said it, Nick, all soccer matches are like this.
That's right. Whoever said that soccer always ends in scoreless draws is wrong.
Right.
It's not always.
They did not tune into this one.
Matthew Bell dancing with it, but a bunch of yellow shirts collapsed in. Max Broughton charging forward for West Virginia. Broughton, the center back, wanting to get involved, springing the Mountaineers forward. Yutaro Sukata against Hai Pinto on the far side. Sukata lays it off to McCormick. McCormick wants a shot. Scooped up by Gabriel Peralta.
Lurking there was Sergio Orz Navarro if Perota spills it, but Perota does a nice job making a clean save there, not allowing the rebound.
That's the third save of the night for Marshall's goalkeeper from Paraguay. Jackson Lee, meanwhile, has not made a save and has conceded 2 goals. This is the first time this year that Perota has conceded multiple goals in a game. Both of these players tied for the Sun Belt Conference lead in clean sheets with 6, and it's going to remain that way after tonight.
Perota has played a lot of soccer. Again, the active leader in shutouts in the NCAA. And I got to tell you, I think the goal scored tonight for both teams are credits to the offensive players.
Taimu Okiyoshi for Marshall. Garcia Pascual gets rid of it quickly. Simone crossing, Pascual in the box. Okiyoshi with a touch, cleared by Olakainen. Second chance is just wide. A good look by Alexander Sterngard. Goal kick, West Virginia.
And Jackson Lee started to lay out for that, knew he had it covered, knew it was going wide. So the crowd held their breath there for a moment, but Jackson Lee knew it was going to sail wide, and we're going to get a great look at this. Coming right at you. Let's see, he starts to dive. Ooh, it was close there.
2 chances for Marshall in the first 5 minutes of the second half. 1 for West Virginia that was easily saved by Perota. Look at the fight from McCormick to get back onto his feet. To Caldera on the wing. Olakainen. McCormick and Olakainen. Now DeContene all the way back to Braden Brodsky. Marshall's back line remains the same here to start the second half. Oh, there he is, Yutaro Sukata. Maybe a little bit too ambitious there. Could have picked out a teammate. It's a goal kick.
That is the spot on the field that he really, really likes. He can cut back towards the center of the field, or he can continue to take it there towards the end line and send it across. Again, I agree with you. I think he was a little impatient, a little ambitious, trying to put his name in the book here tonight.
Marshall continuing to work from the back. West Virginia takes possession away. Here's Ryan Baer. Baer still with West Virginia. McCormick to Caldera just outside the 18. Caldera side netting again, but he's won a corner for WVU. It'll be the 4th corner for WVU and the 8th total on the night.
Good square ball there to Marcus Caldera. Gets a shot, the deflection called for the corner. Mountaineers going to take their time here with the 1-goal lead, and a dangerous server of the ball here for Yutaro Sukata. Mountaineers trying to execute here on a set piece here in the second half.
I mean, we've never seen scenes like this at a soccer match, have we? College soccer, at least. Sukata with very little room to work with on that far corner stick, sends his to the near post and it's cleared away. There with a little hesitation, sends it all the way back to Jackson Lee. Mountaineers will try to regain their shape. Big boot from Lee. Sukata, the runner on the far side, headed away by Pinto.
We're kind of joking about it, obviously, with saying that all matches are like this, but these are 2 teams that really like to play. This is not unusual, and when they go together, you're going to see some goals, which has been a lot of fun. As we get an update there from Central Florida, the Golden Knights with the lead. Again, UCF is number 2 in the Sun Belt, so trying to get a full 3 points. Looks like they are well on their way.
Yeah, and that's an important match too, right? Because if UCF wins, that moves the Knights to 13 points. If Marshall were to drop points tonight, that would mean it's a 1-game differential approximately between those 2 teams if these results were to stand. Still a lot of time for that to change here, though. Caldera was onside as the ball was played. He's on a brace already. He lays it off to an open Yutaro Sukata, who sends it over the bar. A prime chance for the winger from Japan to make it 4-2.
Oh, that is one he is definitely going to want back. Caldera does a nice job using his body and then setting things up for Yutaro Sakata, who just does not get a clean boot on that one. You've got to be disappointed. Now he's got to collect himself. It's, you know, it went against him there, and he has to collect himself and try and make the next play.
15 total shots for West Virginia, including that shot by Sakata. 9 for Marshall, 6 on target for West Virginia, 3 by the Thundering Herd. Mountaineers lead on the scoreline by a goal, and they have since the 19th minute.
It's been interesting here, Nick. Both teams pride themselves on a lot of depth. Both teams, I mean, the Chris Grassy method is to play a lot of players and just kind of come in waves. Although tonight, the benches have been a little bit shorter, just a couple of subs for each side. So interesting to keep an eye on that. Will we see some subs here in the second half with legs maybe wearing down a little bit, because there's been a lot of energy expended here through 55 minutes.
Oh, Caldera's pass back to DeContene almost split Roberto free. It's a throw-in for Marshall. Godar working against Ors Navarro and retaining possession. Sterngard back to the goalkeeper, Perota. Marshall, the only team with a perfect winning percentage. 12 wins, no ties, no losses entering this contest. Herd charging forward. Simone against Jorgensen. He brings down Jorgensen, free kick, West Virginia.
I'll tell you what, that was a beautiful ball there in the midfield from Pasquale. Look at that, just with the spin on it. But great job defensively, once again, by West Virginia.
That's West Virginia Associate Head Coach Andy Wright chatting with Konstantinos Christou and Ryan Crooks. Both players came on as substitutes in the first half. Quick reminder about the substitution rule. You cannot re-enter in the first half. You can re-enter in the second half. So to your point earlier, Adam, we could see maybe more subbing in what's left of this contest. Here's Ryan Baer to Toma DeContene. His first match back from injury after missing 4 in a row. Baer for West Virginia. Garcia Pasquale applying some good pressure to West Virginia's midfield and back line.
You know, continue the thought about the subs. Both teams do have a lot of depth, and while each individual player that comes in is going to have a little bit of flair, tough contact there. That would be worth a talking to at least, as the clock is stopped, and I believe the referee is going to his pocket for another booking here tonight, the third on Marshall. That one's going to go on Roberto. We're going to get a good look at this contact here.
Almost like a block charge situation.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of, right? Roberto trying to come over to cut away the space for DeContene as he made a run.
And I think DeContene might have done his best to initiate a little bit of contact as well.
Mm-hmm. The other 2 Thundering Herd players in the book, Ionesh and Sordo. Ors Navarro's shot is deflected. Luke McCormick wins it back for WVU. Ors Navarro may have been in an offside position there. No, the flag is up. He fouls Roberto.
That's a tough one there, as it looks like Roberto initiates that contact. But again, I think might have been a little bit of a harsh card on him just a bit ago. So perhaps giving him the benefit of the doubt in that moment.
Well won by Alvaro Garcia Pasquale. But West Virginia gets a free kick.
Well, I think it took halftime to settle this match a little bit. We were end to end for so long, and I think it has settled a little bit here in the second half. Not that there hasn't been action and scoring opportunities, but it's looked a little bit more traditional here, I think, in the first 12, 13 minutes.
ball turned into touch by Morris Dugan, who scored the second goal for the Thundering Herd. And now we will see changes for both sides. For Marshall, re-entering is Adam Iomesh, who's on a yellow card. For West Virginia, the newcomers are Ryan Crooks and Konstantinos Christou. Both players saw the field in the first half. Iomesh started the game at winger for Marshall.
Yeah, and as I was saying before, while the players bring, a little bit of individuality to it, there's not a drop-off for either side. They're going to bring in subs that are of high quality and would probably be in the starting 11 for any other team in the country. But that's an important part of building your program and being a championship program, is having depth to withstand a difficult college soccer season.
Caldera has won a lot of balls tonight, and he's won another one there, but West Virginia gives possession away.
Jackson Lee's been called upon tonight to distribute and have the ball at his feet, looking a lot like Gabriel Perota, and he's done a nice job under pressure.
It's interesting, Adam, when he was recruited from George Mason out of the transfer portal, that was something that Coach Stratford touted about him, was that he was a good distributor as well as a shot stopper. Native of Perth, Australia, but he was born in Salt Lake City and has a U.S. passport. As West Virginia commits a foul, free kick for Marshall to restart. Ball taken away by the Mountaineers. Caldera with a little shimmy to McCormick on the far side. To Sukata. Sukata deflected. Well done by Sterngard. DeCottene charging forward. He's down in the box, but there's no foul, and no question about it. DeCottene sliding in to win a tackle. Throw in Marshall.
It was right in front of the Marshall bench, and they were wanting something a little bit more severe, but I kind of thought DeCottene went right over top of the ball.
We've just about reached the hour mark in the 26th Mountain State Derby. Nick Farrell and Adam Zundel here with you on ESPN+. Mountaineers lead the all-time series 16-7-2. But the last three meetings evenly split, one win apiece and one draw in the fall of 2021. Those are the only three meetings under Dan Stratford and Chris Grassi. From 2004 until an NCAA tournament match in 2019, this series went dormant. Sukata, great ball to McCormick. McCormick has options. Caldera, back to McCormick, back to Christou. Christou, still Christou, but he's run out of space. Crossing in, deflected out. West Virginia corner kick.
Lots of possession for West Virginia inside that 18-yard box, ends up earning a corner kick. And Christou fighting off to hold on to that ball and sending that one across, cleared away by Marshall. Look at this packed house here tonight, enjoying a great one, a classic.
I believe the attendance number was just announced. I think I heard 3,100 plus, which would be a facility record as well as a Mountain State Derby record. Service from Jorgensen, a good ball to the back post, but it's headed by Takahiro Fujita. McCormick sends it back into the 18. This time it's Okiyoshi with the header. It falls to Sukata, who gets tripped up just outside the 18-yard box. No whistle. Great defending by Christou. Here's Ryan Crooks. We've got about 28 minutes left in this Mountain State Derby. If you're feeling a bit frantic, a bit nervous watching this, well, just strap in. Crooks. Christou deflected and cleared by the Thundering Herd. Sukata in space. He's worked the far side most of the match. Near side now. Sukata's cross to the back post is a dangerous one. Fujita had to knee it over the bar. Another corner for WVU. It's sixth of the night.
You talked about how Marshall has really not trailed much this season. I would venture to also guess this is about as much on the back foot of a match that they have been here this season. West Virginia really impressive in this last little stretch, really possessing the ball and creating some opportunities.
Changes for both sides. Amen Sordo, the forward who started the match for Marshall, is back in. He replaces Alexander Sterngard, which is interesting because Sterngard is a midfielder and Sordo is an attacker. Meanwhile, a straight swap at right back for WVU. DeContenay to the bench. The Morgantown native Huckabee, who started, is back onto the turf. 27 minutes left. Jorgensen service, headed by Christou. Might have been headed away by a Thundering Herd player. Back to Jorgensen near side. Sukata looking for Caldera, and it's cleared by Dugan.
Thinking back to that first half, Marcus Caldera in the early moments had an opportunity, didn't quite convert, and then responded with the brace. Thinking back to Yutaro Sukata, had one really on his boot that let get away from him here in the second half. Will he be able to find a similar response either in a goal or some playmaking ability?
The official attendance number is a record at Dick Dalesk Soccer Stadium, 3,147 at tonight's match. The previous men's soccer record, 2,900 against UC Santa Barbara in 2009. The facility record was 3,000 for an NCAA tournament match featuring the WVU women's team and USC. It's also a Mountain State Derby record. The previous attendance record, 3,033, set in the fall of 2021 in Huntington. And as we heard from Chris Grassi earlier this week, he says, why stop at 3,000? What about 5,000? What about 10,000? That's an optimistic number, sure, but maybe if they played at a different stadium, a bigger venue, maybe it could happen someday.
Well, and again, if they play like this, yeah, I think a lot of people would come and watch. This has been a fun brand of soccer. We still, again, have a long way to go in this one, but it's been a lot of fun to watch, and it's been really high quality play, which at the end of the day is really attractive to the fans.
Physical too. Ryan Baer takes Okiyoshi down to the turf and springs West Virginia forward. Sukata finds Caldera. Caldera on his left. Oh, what a goal! It's a hat trick from magical Marcus Caldera. West Virginia 4, Marshall 2.
What a goal here by Marcus Caldera. Pulls it back on that left foot and just slides it right into that far post for the hat trick for Marcus Caldera. In the biggest of moments, we talked about which players are going to step up under these bright lights in front of this sellout crowd. And Marcus Caldera has responded with 3 goals.
3 of the very best. He's made them pay on the biggest of stages. Marcus Caldera, the first West Virginia player to score a hat trick since Andy Bevan in 2014. 3 on the night, a dozen on the season for the sophomore from Canada. A night of nights, and this is his.
Big time players make big time plays in big time games. How about that one? 2-goal lead for West Virginia.
A wild and wonderful West Virginia hat trick by Magical Marcus. The perfect season for Marshall was very much in jeopardy. The Thundering Herd trail by 2 once again. 25 minutes to try to change the script on this dramatic night in Morgantown.
So interesting here on that restart, on the kickoff, Marcus Caldera was on the turf, wasn't ready for the kickoff, and kickoff went ahead. He was on the opposite side. That's why the coaching staff right now is furious with this restart.
By the way, it's Yutaro Sukata who gets the assist. He's got 9 on the season to lead West Virginia. Can Marshall respond? Huge moments here for the Thundering Herd. This is Amen Sordo to Pablo Simon. He scored 2 against Coastal Carolina. Jorgensen punches it over the byline. Corner kick coming for the Thundering Herd. And you can tell there is a much greater sense of urgency now from Marshall after conceding again.
Yeah, and we just saw a shot of Coach Stratford there. He is very typically composed in these situations, disappointed with the kickoff going off there, and is letting the fourth know about it.
5th corner for the Herd. Headed away by Max Broughton. 1 back by Hai Pinto. Pinto. Good little chip. Iomesh crossing. Headed away again by Broughton. Mountaineers need to clear. Uh-oh, that's a high boot from Luke McCormick. It will be a free kick. No yellow card yet. Thought that could have been questionable. As we look at the replay, the conversation with the West Virginia coaching staff and the fourth official, Kevin Cook, ongoing. The argument from West Virginia is that because Caldera was not in possession, that allowed basically a power play momentarily for Marshall because they didn't have the full numbers behind the ball.
Yeah, and I think the other part of that is there have been moments tonight when the kickoff has been paused for Marshall players to either get back on side in the right spot. And so I think that's also adding to a sense of the frustration.
Marshall scored from a corner kick in the first half. This is Amen Sorda. Service toward the back post. Ryan Crooks got a foot to it. It's into touch for a throw-in for Marshall.
Yeah, remember that Sterngard typically takes the corners for Marshall, so he is on the bench. Yeah, they're going to call Huckabee with the foul there, and it was a clear two-handed push. So, not a lot of easy calls out there for the officials. I think that one was.
68th minute, West Virginia 4, Marshall 2. Goals for the Mountaineers by Sergio Ors Navarro, and a hat trick from Marcus Caldera, the first by a Mountaineer in nearly a decade. By the way, Caldera also the first Mountaineer to score 10 or more goals in a single season since Andy Bevan scored 13 in 2014. Another service from Marshall. Great ball into the box. Shot goes high over the bar, way over the bar. Also heading for the gas station down the road on the Star City Bridge by Amen Sordo.
Yeah, I think the River might have gobbled up 2 balls here tonight, but this is really good service actually on that set opportunity, right on the 6, giving Marshall an opportunity. Not able to get a full look at it.
The second West Virginia native has entered the Mountain State Derby. That's Max Trethaway. He replaces Freddie Jorgensen at the left back position. Trethaway, a junior from Charleston, West Virginia, won 3 AAA state championships in the SSAC with George Washington. 69th minute, West Virginia 4, Marshall 2. The Mountaineers have led since the 12th minute. Max Broughton won a foot race, an important one at that, against Tio Godar. The Thundering Herd has it back here. Oh, great touch there by Amen Sordo on the far side, but it doesn't result in anything positive for Marshall. West Virginia back in possession and putting numbers forward. McCormick was offside. Referee Lucas Feathers sees the flag. Marshall is taking it quickly. Play resumes. 70th minute. More substitutions getting ready to check in. Brian Amaro for Marshall and Jake Ross for West Virginia. The freshman likely going to come in to give a spell to Caldera, who's played every minute for WVU. Huckabee all over that through pass. Ball deflected out by Morris Dugan. Throw in Mountaineers, and there will be more changes. It's Ross for WVU to replace Caldera, and Amaro for Marshall to replace Dugan.
You see Marcus Caldera. I don't think we've seen the last of him here tonight getting a spell, but also want to credit West Virginia's defenders stepping up in some moments here tonight. We've seen Max Broughton make a couple of plays and step up. Dante Huckabee made an important intervention there. If it gets past him, Marshall is off to the races. So West Virginia defenders under pressure all night. Did a pretty solid job of withstanding the Thundering Herd.
And remember, too, Adam, that West Virginia doing this tonight without Carlos Hernando, who previously had played just about every minute at center back. We're told that Hernando, who did not play against South Carolina due to an injury, is available tonight. But so far, so good from that center back tandem of number 4, Borutsky, and 5, Broughton.
You know, I thought there might have been some gaps as the center backs got pulled apart in the first half. But in this second half, West Virginia has done such a good job of possessing the ball that it's limited those opportunities. And we have some more extracurriculars.
Well, Ryan Baer has just been shown a yellow card. Yutaro Sukata then hit the deck. And the partisan Mountaineer crowd did not seem to like that very much. So there's the yellow card to bear. The 6th total player into the book in the 71st minute. And Sukata gets a talking to.
Yeah, it looked like Sukata was
maybe down a little bit easily.
Well, he was trying. I think he was. Well, the argument that at that point was the delay.
Well put, Adam. And we've got another stoppage here as our referee, Lucas Feathers, continues to sort things out. There's the whistle. Play resumes. Under 20 minutes left. West Virginia up by a pair. Okiyoshi. What a great ball that is to Joao Roberto. Ionesh has it taken away by Borutsky. Ross, the new entrant, runs out of room. And that touch by Roberto a moment ago reminded me, Adam, that maybe one of the biggest moments of this game, not maybe, one of the biggest moments of this game came when Freddie Jorgensen cleared a chip off the line right before halftime. Just seconds remaining before the half. It could have been 3-3. It stayed 3-2, and now the Mountaineers lead by 2.
Yeah, it was a huge moment, and it was a great individual effort and hustle. But you know, the other part of that is that play started with about 20 seconds. So if you think that you're in the clear in the final minute, if you got a 1-goal lead, you don't. Marshall can do it in a hurry. And so it was a good example of West Virginia's defending, but also how quickly Marshall can attack.
Well, Roberto is a dangerous man. We've seen it. He's in possession now. He sets up Okiyoshi. Okiyoshi, great through pass to Roberto. Roberto down in the box. No whistle. Play resumes. West Virginia coaching staff imploring Jake Ross to move forward. Back pass to Peralta. And now Okiyoshi resetting for Marshall. Strong touch by Iomesh.
It was a good job by West Virginia to possess that ball. It was bouncing around. Mountaineers were able to settle it to take advantage of that turnover rather than letting it continue to bounce around and let Marshall get back the ball.
Crooks is taken down by Godar. Free kick, West Virginia. West Virginia versus Marshall, the 26th Mountain State Derby, the 4th rendition featuring Chris Grassi as the head coach of the Herd and Dan Stratford as the head coach of the Mountaineers. Right now, the protege is leading the teacher, Stratford, with the upper hand over Grassi's thundering Herd. Borutsky winning possession back for West Virginia. Jackson Lee gonna blast it. Roberto was almost there. Fujita with the header, and it falls to Christou. He's got options to his left. Christou going left. Cutting back right. Christou! 5-2! What a night for West Virginia!
Marshall came into this match having only given up 5 goals this season, and it's 5 in 74 minutes for West Virginia. This one comes off the deflection for Christou and gets into the back of the net. The Mountaineers with the 5-2 lead.
It's the first collegiate goal for Konstantinos Christou, the freshman from Nicosia, Cyprus, and it is gigantic. This is the night, and it has well and truly been West Virginia's night.
Christou, this is an individual effort here. You mentioned it, he had options, brings it back onto that right foot, gets a little bit of a deflection, and all Peralta can do is just see it go past him. A little too much space here, I think, at the top of the box allowed. The Mountaineers put in a 5th, and you see the Marshall defender just go to the turf. This is unprecedented here for the Thundering Herd this season. Again, as we come to the final stage of this match, this final stage is still 17 minutes left in this one. composure, again, is key for both sides.
That's what Dan Stratford told us in the lead up to this match. He knew it would be an electric atmosphere, but he said, can we feed off it? Can we use it to our advantage? Composure absolutely critical over the last 16 minutes here. But West Virginia surely has fed off this record crowd tonight.
Yeah, I think the last thing Coach Stratford would have wanted to see is sending 3,000 fans home disappointed. And again, I think both sides can take pride in the effort tonight. It's been a well-played match. West Virginia so far getting the better of it, putting in 5 goals. And right now, the gold and blue contingent are happy. But again, Marshall has a lot of grit and determination, and most importantly, offensive firepower that, we've seen some wild things here tonight.
Well, Ryan Baer has gone to the bench. West Virginia has shifted things up a little bit. It looks like we might see a little bit more of a defensive formation from WVU in the final 15-plus minutes. Dante Huckabee has slid into the center defensive midfield position along with Otto Olakainen, and Toma Dikatene is back in at fullback. Marshall continuing to fight, but West Virginia wins a free kick. WVU since 2006 has won 17 contests against ranked opponents in Morgantown. But against top 5 teams, WVU is 5-1-1. West Virginia has had help from Dan Stratford in 6 of those 7 contests since 2006, either as a player, assistant coach, or as the head coach as recently as this season against number 3 Portland. And Stratford was quick to point out that the only loss was against Maryland while he was at Charleston. And so that makes Stratford's record as either a player, assistant, or head coach 5-0-1 against top 5 foes in Morgantown since 2006. This could be number 6. 15 minutes still to go, and we know that Marshall, which came into this contest the nation's leader in scoring, could still have something to say. Hard tackle by Huckabee, and it's a foul.
Those are the moments that you really need to avoid if you're West Virginia, fouling in these dangerous areas. A set opportunity could really get Marshall going here in a final flurry. Just have to be careful and mindful and disciplined to not surrender these types of fouls. This is a dangerous area here for the Thundering Herd.
Marshall's first goal came from the run of play from Matthew Bell. The second goal in the 18th minute by Dugan came off a corner kick.
Look at the 8 again.
Over top of the ball is Adam Iomesh, the Paris native. Headed away by Dikatene. And a foul by Marshall. We mentioned that UCF score, and boy, isn't that looming large right now. The Knights were leading Coastal Carolina earlier in the night 3-0. If that result stands, and this one does too, Marshall would be at 15 points, UCF at 13, West Virginia at 12. Too soon to talk about a title race here in the Sun Belt. Maybe we'll save those conversations for after full time. Still business to attend to here in Morgantown in the 26th Mountain State Derby.
Yeah, and it was interesting to hear Coach Grassi talk. Obviously, the national championship knockout play, that's really important. That's special. But he also thinks that winning the Sun Belt regular season championship is a great mark of his squad because you have to run such a gauntlet to get through it.
Force Navarro with a rip. Peralta with a save.
Terrific technique from Peralta on that save, and UCF has really laid it on the Chanticleers tonight.
Coastal lost 6-1 to Marshall Friday, losing by 5 goals again against UCF. Dikatene charging forward, has his pocket picked. He's got to get back. Here's Okiyoshi. Out to Pablo Simon, so dangerous on that wing. Cross into the box, Olakainen flicks it away, now cleared by the West Virginia native Trethaway, who draws a foul. And we will have a yellow card. That's Hai Pinto into the book. Trethewey is up, but a second Mountaineer has now gone down in Yutaro Sukata, who is holding his leg. Take a look at the replay here on the foul on Trethewey. That puts Pinto into the book. But it's a bit concerning here that Sukata, who is absolutely electric on the wing for WVU, made the gesture to request a sub a moment ago.
Training staff out to attend to Yutaro Sukata. Looked like he might have been pulling at a hamstring, but we'll let the trainer sort that one out.
The trainer, by the way, Ethan Solger, got caught during the UCF game with the magic spray. Turned into a big-time celebrity around here after that.
You know, and a difference here in the college game in, well, quite frankly, football across the world is that the clock does stop on this. So this isn't a time-wasting tactic or anything like that. Looks like a spray's out there.
There it is.
There you go.
That's his thing, man, the magic spray. What does it do? No one knows, but apparently helps.
It's the old placebo effect.
Hey, Marcus Caldera, what a sensational night. The first hat trick by a Mountaineer since Andy Bevan in 2014. Really the difference maker tonight. He's been great in flashes this season, but this is by far his best outing.
A terrific goal scorer on display tonight in the toughest test, in the brightest environment here. He has been outstanding. Again, his work rate is terrific. Puts himself in great spots. Composure right in front of the net.
And what about this third goal, Adam? I mean, the placement. This is pro-level stuff from Caldera on the weak foot.
Yeah, he found the right spot, found the right pocket of space. You see him celebrating, and you said it perfectly, placed just tucked inside that far post for the hat trick.
A wild and wonderful West Virginia hat trick from Marcus Caldera. He entered the night with 9 goals. He's got a dozen on the season now. He might be in line, too, for another game winner, which would be the 4th of the season and 7th of his career. Okay, play restarts. Sukata is on the bench, walked off on his own power. Caldera has re-entered for him, so it's Caldera, Ross, and Ors Navarro, the attacking trident for WVU. Could they add another one? Ross attacking. Ross down in the box. No penalty, corner kick. We've got so many skyward hands appealing for a penalty.
A lot of activity down there right in front of the Mountaineer fans, but it will lead to a corner kick here for West Virginia. Ross with a really nice run here towards the end line. Really didn't have much, quite honestly, on the far post. I think that's a good no call on that one as Ross.
Absolutely. A new sensation tonight for Chris Grassi. He's not seen his team trail for this long or in this matter all season.
It's been stunning. We talked about Marshall only giving up 5 goals coming into this one and letting in 5 here so far. We knew it was probably going to be an offensive battle here tonight. We got that message early on that it was going to be that way, but still for West Virginia to put in 5 tonight might be beyond anyone's expectations.
Marshall's 12-game unbeaten streak is the longest winning streak in program history. The longest overall unbeaten streak in Marshall soccer history across 4.5 decades of men's soccer is 13 in a row unbeaten. Would take a major effort to earn a point at this juncture, nearing the final 10 minutes with the Thundering Herd trailing by 3. They looked unbeatable, at sometimes leagues better than all of the opposition they faced. Not tonight. After going up 1-0, going down 1-0, I should say, West Virginia found a way to take control of this match through 3 goals in quick succession. Ors Navarro, Caldera. Less than 2 minutes apart to take a 3-1 lead over the Thundering Herd. WVU has led ever since.
And again, Jorgensen taking the ball off the line just before halftime. A key moment in this match, really allowed West Virginia to come out flying in the second half. I think there's 2 keys to this one here so far with still 10 minutes to play. West Virginia's effectiveness, pressing Marshall in instances, and taking advantage of those moments and possession. That's been the other big key for West Virginia. The Mountaineers have had a ton of this ball here tonight. Again, probably exceeding their own expectations.
When they want it, they have it. And when they don't have it, they get it back. That's been the theme, at least for this second half. Adam, I know he's not on the turf right now, but Ryan Baer, the midfielder for West Virginia, also had a critical play that sprung West Virginia's first goal. And if there was ever a turning point in this match, it was that moment that took the tempo away from Marshall, gave WVU a goal, and led to 2 more after that.
Yeah, it seems like Marshall's 1-0 lead is a lifetime ago here tonight. That ball played in. Jackson Lee is on it. And when Marshall had that early goal, it was still so early that I still think there was a lot of energy in this building. We talked about it at the time. We didn't think 1 goal was going to do it. I don't think Marshall probably thought 1 goal was going to do it. West Virginia, I'm sure, did not. So we knew that there was going to be a long way to go in this one. But for the Mountaineers to try and find their way back was definitely a challenge here with that against them, the number 1 team in the country, down a goal. Great touch there by Ors Navarro.
Good ball from Ors Navarro too. Christou just can't connect. In front of Ors Navarro, behind Ross. Free kick coming here for Marshall. West Virginia seeking its first win over the national number 1 since 2011 against UConn. WVU won that game 2-0. Who played in goal for the Huskies that night? Andre Blake, arguably the best goalkeeper in the MLS, playing for Philadelphia Union. There were professionals on the field that night in 2011. There are bona fide professionals on the field tonight. Matthew Bell for Marshall is a surefire pro. Maybe Marcus Caldera will be someday too. Dan Stratford has told us he thinks Yutaro Sukata's highlight tape that he's going to send to scouts is going to be the easiest one he's ever had to make. This is high level Division I men's soccer that we've got to enjoy tonight. A 7-goal thriller in the Mountain State Derby that has absolutely lived up to the billing. Another West Virginia native into the match, Ryan Holmes, getting some minutes for Marshall. The 3rd West Virginian to see time. This is Ayamesh. Desperation cross is gobbled up by Jackson Lee. Matthew Bell got the scoring started. West Virginia responded from Sergio Ors Navarro and a pair from Marcus Caldera. Magical Marcus put the finishing touches on a hat trick in the second half to make it 4-2. And then Konstantinos Christou added a 5th for WVU.
The challenge for West Virginia now is managing these final 7 minutes in a professional manner to try and seal these 3 points.
Broughton with a great step. He has been superb tonight.
One of the advantages that the Mountaineers have offensively is that Marcus Caldera is so good at holding the ball.
Here's Holmes for Marshall. Holmes with a good left-footed cross. Garcia Pascual couldn't handle it. Iomesh trying to find Bell. Huckabee got there in time. Brian Amaro thinking about it. Headed skyward by Broughton. Lee does what he had to do.
Could have been dangerous there as that ball popped up into the air. We saw West Virginia score off a deflection on Christou. That fortunate for the Mountaineers. And, another key part of this one here tonight, I think, has been after Matthew Bell scored that goal, his touches have been limited. And credit West Virginia for having a role in that, because Matthew Bell can change games in an instant. He just has not had many opportunities to do that here tonight, as he actually, I think, is hitting the turf right now.
He is. Yutaro Sukata, who was injured a moment ago, has come back on. And that is Bell down inside the midfield circle. We've got a bunch of players who are down right now, including Luke McCormick getting a stretch. Good gesture there between Bell and Sukata. I mean, these are 2 tremendous attacking players. thought it might be his night early on, Matthew Bell, with that goal in the 6th minute. He averages a goal contribution per game in his collegiate career, which is just absolutely sensational. Got a goal tonight, so that average will remain 31 goal contributions in 31 matches.
13 games played this season for Matthew Bell, has a goal or an assist in 11 of them. I mean, it's just, he gets out there and he produces for the Thundering Herd. And seeing these bodies on the ground, I mean, that just goes to show you how hard these players have worked, how tough this game has been, and how much these players have given to try and get a result here tonight.
Yeah, no question. These guys have given everything from start to finish, and it shows, not just in the scoreline, but some of the reactions now here in the final 5 minutes and 10 seconds. And Adam, it's worth noting too that West Virginia did get a little bit of a layoff between games, South Carolina and tonight against Marshall. West Virginia is coming off a stretch in which it played 8 contests in 23 days. That's a lot of work for this team that has still come out tonight and attack this Marshall team that leading into this night seemed invincible.
Yeah, I don't know if it was maybe a day of rest, an extra day of rest, but West Virginia came out flying. Again, we talked about maybe a little bit of a smaller rotation here tonight for the Mountaineers, but it might also be buoyed by the energy of the crowd that West Virginia has been flying around tonight. But it has been nonstop, pedal to the metal here since we got started.
Final 5+ minutes to go. Looks like we are ready to get back underway after an injury stoppage. McCormick drops it back to Borutsky. Final 5 minutes now in front of an attendance record at Dick Dalesk Soccer Stadium. 3,147 fans attending a match that was sold out 3 weeks in advance. Arguably the biggest men's soccer match played in the state of West Virginia. And Adam, the hope is it's not a one-off thing, right? I mean, as long as Dan Stratford is the coach at West Virginia and Chris Grassi, the head coach at Marshall, the expectation is this match will always be huge.
Yeah, you know, again, we kind of joked about it. These coaches like each other. They like this environment. And if you're a player, why wouldn't you love this? Whether you are home or away, you got to love the environment and the energy provided by the fans in both stadiums in Huntington and here in Morgantown. It's just a really great display for soccer. It is great for the state of West Virginia, and it's great for these programs.
Have to credit the Marshall fans who made the trip from Huntington too. There's a big group of them in the stands tonight wearing green who stood throughout the entirety of this match. Shot on goal, parried away by Jackson Lee, denying Garcia Pascual. Trethaway heads it away. Sukata with the clearance. Still 3 games left for both of these squads after tonight. For Marshall, at home versus Kentucky on the 22nd, then at Old Dominion, and against South Carolina on the final day of October. For West Virginia, at Coastal, then at Kentucky on the 22nd and 27th, respectively. Back at home on Halloween for senior night against Old Dominion. Hard tackle on the far side. Max Trethaway pumping up the crowd. Love the energy these fans have brought from both sides. The flags from the Marshall fans, the pregame chanting from the Mountaineer Maniacs in the extended bleachers and on the sidelines tonight.
You know, Nick, and talking about, you know, future matchups, what's great about this is just another chapter. The book is still going to be written amongst these teams, and this is going to be a really important chapter here for West Virginia in this moment.
The Mountaineers showing they want more. DeCottene pushing forward. A lunging tackle there by Tio Godar, but he has fouled DeCottene. The Mountaineers can only waste so much time before the whistle might be blown before the restart, but this again is important for WVU.
Yeah, DeCottene was heading toward the corner flag to try and kill some time off of this one. DeCottene thought about going to goal there for a moment, then thought better of it, veered off toward the corner flag. Probably even better for West Virginia. Got the foul called and killed a few more seconds off this clock.
Adam, I'm just curious, and I'm putting you on the spot here. When 5 beats 1 in this matter, is it an upset in your book?
Well, no, quite honestly, there is so little separation, I think, amongst the top 15, 20 teams in the country that when you get to the NCAA tournament, it's 48. You know, you don't just pencil in, you know, the higher seeded team. There is just such a little margin. And, you know, tonight seems to be West Virginia's night. These teams play 9 times out of 10. You know, who knows what happens. Marshall's going to have the better of those instances on a couple of those for sure. But no, when you're at this high level and 5 versus 1, I think there's such a little difference that, yes, it will go down as an upset. But really, these teams aren't separated by a lot.
The fans can feel it now in gold and blue on this near sideline.